on the same level, and we was coming up at the same speed. We was both stars, becoming stars in the game, right? Now we got Gervonta, right? No, I'm going to even put this in perspective before I say that. Gervonta, right? Bro put Pedraza in it. You know, I felt some kind of way because I just fought Pedraza. Everybody was saying, you know, Pedraza was old. Pedraza was this. Pedraza was that. Keyshawn should win, but I don't think Keyshawn's going to stop him. I end up stopping Pedraza. Fast forward, we got two guys in an interview talking about Pedraza, and the star says the other person can't beat Pedraza. I wish Frankie said what he was going to say when he said Keyshawn and got cut off. But, Tank, if you feel like Frank can't beat Pedraza and you like the only person at 35 that can fight anybody in the division, what made you want to fight Frank Martin? Tank, if you saying out your own mouth, Frank is ass, okay. Frank can't beat Pedraza, okay. Just my question, what made you want to fight him in the first place? If you feel like he ass, you are like the superstar. You're the superstar. You can fight anybody and everybody. What made you want to fight Frank? Okay, Frank skip, and I'm gonna say this too. Like, I was saying this off camera. I respect Frank. Like, I respect him. Shit, I'm happy for the nigga. This nigga about to get a big break. About to get a big break. Like, hey, niggas come from nothing. Like, shit, he better fight Tank. You know, I'm happy for him. But for Tank, you saying all of this, and you tough, right? What made you want to fight Frank? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What made you want to fight him in the first place if you saying he's just that trash? That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to disrespect him. Nobody. I just want to know, like, what made him want to fight Frank if Frank just so ass? Shit. That shit don't even make sense.
That was Keyshawn Davis on the Fight Hype live. He was talking about Tank Davis, man. Once again, you know, why is Tank fighting Frank Martin instead of, I guess, Shakur, Devin? You know, just the typical guys we've been wanting to see this dude fight, man. Keyshawn is pretty much hinting that he pretty much trying to say what other people are saying. Tank Davis takes fights that he knows he got a high probable chance of winning and no real credible threat to him. Me personally, I told you I think Tank beats him by knockout, 9th, 10th, stoppage to the body. But there's always that possibility that Frank Martin could go in there and spoil the party. He ain't no hoe. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no hoe, man. And the only thing I could think of, like I said, is Frank is he's ranked up there in the WBA. He's high ranked. So that's understandable. But there's dudes over Tank, over Frank Martin that he could afford. You know, you gotta think who's number one spot at WBA. I don't have the rankings right in front of me, but I saw him the other day, and I know Williams and Payda is up there somewhere. Shakur Stevenson, I think he's ranked in there too somewhere. I have to go back and double check. I'm not too certain, but regardless, right? This dude Tank Davis, he said, you know, he's the face of boxing. He's the A-side guy. He's the Canelo of the smaller weight classes, man. He is, pretty much. from all the weight classes 140 and below, Gervonta Davis he's the money man, and that's the truth. And I think behind him uh, is Devin Haney, and then next up probably gonna be Monster Inoue. He probably gonna be the next one up behind Dev. But you know, Tank cherry picking. Yeah, I mean this is something that we've all been saying. If he goes in there and smokes Frank Martin, man, then we all know why you picked Frank Martin. You know what I'm saying? If Frank don't put up much of a fight, then we all know the reason why Tank picked him. Then if Frank go in there and straight washes Tank, this was a cherry going wrong in my opinion. But Frank ain't no hoe. He's a great fighter for what he is. He's a late starter, and I like Frank Martin for sure. Keyshawn Davis, on the other hand, he's coming up in the ranking. I forgot where he's ranked at. So is he hitting that, calling out Tank? I was waiting for Keyshawn to say, "Hey, look, let's get it. Why you ain't calling me out?" Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna say Keyshawn Davis is too green for Tank. I might make a video about that soon, a separate video talking about them two fighting. But I think Keyshawn can hold his own in there against Tank Davis. I know he don't have the same amount of experience in the pros as Tank got, but I think he can hold his own. He's a big boy. He can hold his own. All of them could, to a certain degree, And the weird thing about the Keyshawn Davis thing is Keyshawn is ranked up in the WBC, and will Shakur eventually have to end up fighting Keyshawn Davis? And we already know what the hell's gonna happen with that. That's gonna be a little strange to see, because he said that's his brother. He's not gonna fight. But I mean, dude, that's a belt. You got to defend it. If he end up defending his WBC, who's he gonna call upon? What if Keyshawn Davis get ranked up number 1 or something right under Shakur for Shakur's belt? That'd be something to see what would happen. Yeah, that's another video too. I might talk about that as well. But I see where Keyshawn is coming from. He feel like, hey, look, Tank he could have picked over Frank Martin. He could have picked somebody that was more experienced, had more of a boxing, like he grew up more of a boxer from, young. Most of these dudes started when they was like 7, 8 years old. Frank Martin, I think, started when he was like 18. So I guess that's where Keyshawn coming from. All these other cats, they started really early. They was kids. They was babies, a lot of these fighters. But all in all, Tank do be cherry picking his fights, man. And I'm gonna say it again. We didn't ask for a Hector Garcia. We didn't ask for a Rolly Romero. To me, those were cherries. Period. But let me know what y'all think about what Keyshawn Davis is saying. Pretty much hinting at Tank being a cherry picker, man. And do you think these two will ever fight? Is Keyshawn Davis gonna be in the hit list for Tank Davis? I didn't even think about that. He might be one of those next 6 opponents for Tank Davis, man. Is he on the menu? I don't know. Get back to me, man. This your boy Rebel Life Boxing. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, share the video, all that, man. I'm gonna get at y'all in the next one. And I'm off this.